What's up YouTube, NarrowX TV over here, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to jungle and be dominant in the jungle with Absol. Now I've been playing ever since the game came out at like 1 or 2 p.m. EST about 3 days ago. That would be July 20th. And I really do like the jungle role. I love Absol. I think Absol is very strong, but some people might be stronger than Absol, but we're going to get into those strengths and weaknesses later. But I'm going to show you guys some tips and tricks and just how to jungle and get your team ahead, get the objectives, and just win the game by yourself for your team. So let's get right into it. So right here, you have the battle prep. You're going to want to take eject button for Absol. Why eject button? Well, you want to be able to get in or out of a sticky situation. So you also want to use it to reposition yourself in case you aren't behind the enemy. So just a quick tip, we're going to get into this into more detail later. But Absol has a move, Pursuit, which you should always get. I don't think you should ever get the other one, but you definitely should always get Pursuit. And if you Pursuit and you attack the enemy behind them, it does insane amounts of damage. So that's why you have an extra little, I call it a flash, like League of Legends, but it's really a leap. You have an extra leap to get behind them or reposition yourself, or to just jump away in case you jumped in and you want to be like, oh, nah, I gotta get out of here. So that's what I take. If you want to take something else, you can, but I definitely find that it is helpful in a lot of situations, specifically for Absol. So moving on from the battle item, for the held items, this isn't really necessary leftovers, but I just throw it in there because as a jungler, sometimes you're walking around, you're not always farming. But when you're not in combat, recover 1% of your max HP. You are a jungler, so you will be trying to look for ganks and stuff like that. So leftovers isn't really necessary. You can change it out if you want, but I just have it there, you know, just because I feel like there's nothing else that might be better. And next, we're gonna have the muscle band. When basic attacks hit, the damage is increased by 2% of the opposing Pokemon's remaining HP. Now, as you can see, there's an attack plus 5 and a basic attack speed plus 2.5%. This kind of seems like an ADC item, but it's also great, I believe, for bursting. So when you go to just run somebody down and you do the sweet spot for the pursuit attack, which again, we'll get into more detail later, that ends up being a hard hit and it just adds more burst to this character. So moving on from that, for the third item, we have the scope lens. This one is very critical, no pun intended, to the kit for Absol, because Absol crits already, especially when attacking from behind with Pursuit. So this just adds on to that punch. So this increases the damage of basic attack critical hits. The higher the Pokemon's attack, the more the damage increases. So your critical hit rate goes up 1.6%. It definitely doesn't feel like that. There's some times where I feel like I crit a lot. Actually, it feels like I do it all the time. Next, there's the critical hit damage plus 3.2%. That doesn't seem like a lot numerically, but it adds up, because before, when I first started playing Absol, I didn't feel like I was doing too much burst or just doing too much in the entire game at all. But when I started adding these items and hitting that sweet spot, which is attacking from behind, I just bursted almost anybody down with Absol. So this is very important because after both of Absol's abilities, I picked Pursuit and Psycho Cut. They both empower basic attack. So technically Pursuit is a basic attack, you just kind of dash, but that's why this is so important. This makes both of those moves possible to crit and just even more powerful. So now we're going to get onto the abilities and which ones you should upgrade. You should always get Pursuit. Forget Night Slash. You should always get Pursuit. Why? Because that's where the big damage comes from. If you attack from behind, that's where the big burst is. You get so much more damage on that. I don't know the exact numbers. But for the second ability, you always want to get Psycho Cut. Sucker Punch leaves you open to attack. Psycho Cut just adds onto that burst. Sucker Punch and the other move don't really burst, but if you get Pursuit and Psycho Cut, both of those together, just massive burst. So that's it for the abilities. Now we're going to get into the gameplay and how to jungle. So right when you start, you want to take Slash, ZR. Always take that first. Hit one of the top or bottom creeps. I call them creeps, doesn't matter. You always want to hit those because you see that little bit of XP you got about a third bar of XP. Now you want to start smacking this little Pokemon. I'm really bad with Pokemon names, but just start smacking it. It's always going to run in the direction you always want to go. You always want to get Ludicolo first. Now, what is Ludicolo? Ludicolo is an orange buff, and what the orange buff does is it makes you do more damage to wild Pokemon, not regular Pokemon, wild Pokemon when they're low on health. Essentially, it just helps you jungle better. Now, Boo, I forget this thing. It's some Bull, Buffalo, something like that. That buff, purple buff, makes it so that when you hit somebody, this goes for both wild Pokemon and actual people that are using Pokemon, you slow them down. right? So let's say I go to gank a lane, I start hitting them, they're slowed. That allows me to catch up to them and my team to just start wailing on them constantly without them retreating. So now here I'm looking for a gank. Always want to look for a gank. I press L, that's what the button is, to look like free look all your screen, and I see that these people are pushed up a little too much and I want to help out my team. So I instantly dive in. I see he gets away. No, he doesn't. Slowpoke got him. That was a good gank. So I want to run back. Never stay there fighting. A lot of people like to stay there fighting. What you want to do if there is no gank, or you just help them gank, you want to help them take XP to get them ahead. You can't score because the enemy is still there unless you kill both. That's when you want to score. But if there's still one there, don't try and force it, because you're just going to end up fighting them for like 30 seconds and they're not going to die. And then you die and now they score on you. Never want that. So you want to be taking a little bit of minions here and there, but always look for ganks. I see that they were here. I thought they were in the bush, but they weren't. So I just go back, farm. That's a really big thing for junglers. It should be for everybody, but especially for junglers. You don't always have to be fighting. When you farm and you get those levels ahead, you actually get more attack power. So here, you know, I'm creeping in the bushes. Boom, I hit the sweet spot behind him. He didn't know I was there. Boom, that was a crit. That's also why you want those battle items. That really helps. So right here, I'm like, maybe we can kill him, maybe we can't. I'm getting low. I try to hit the sweet spot. I missed. So I get away. Boom, I try to hit it again. But they're able to take him out. You will always want to score. Boom, that's a really big thing to do. I scored before anybody could come in for reinforcements on the enemy team. That was great. So now here I go to get some health. And now they're trying to score. I stopped them. So I believe I die here. No, I don't die actually. So they scored. You know, that kind of sucks. But I'm able to get one kill. Now, Charmander definitely should have been dead. That was, I don't even know. I was a little tilted at that. I was like, wow, they really did that. That had to be 1 HP. But I did want to stop them from scoring. To be honest, whether I died or not, they were going to score anyways. So even if I had just ran back, they were going to score. If I tried to stay there and defend, they were still going to score because I would have died. So I just go back to farming here. Don't always need to fight. Don't always need to look for a gank. It's better if you get your levels up to be ahead of everybody, so that when you do gank, you're more powerful than the people in lane, right? So always ping where you're going to go. Also here I'm pinging. I want to go here, I want to go there, I need help here, I need help there. I'm always looking at the mini map, and when I want to free look with the camera, I press L and start panning the camera. So here I see they're trying to take Rotom. This is what you want to do after you farm all your camps first. You want to start looking for when does Rotom spawn, or when does that turtle spawn. Quick side note, I don't know why it went to Slowpoke or Slowbro. It definitely should have went to Cinder something, whatever that is, a little fire type. That was also a little tilting, so that's 2 times the game kind of screwed me over. But anyways, after you're clearing your camps, you always want to look for the next objectives. At the top you have Rotom, and at the bottom you have, at the very bottom, as you see in that yellow icon, there's also one for Rotom at the top and one at the bottom. The turtle one at the bottom gives everybody on the team a shield. So here I'm hiding in the bushes. I have ult. This is why levels are important. None of them have ults, but I did because I was farming. That is a triple kill. Look at that crit. That was a nice crit. That was a triple kill. Why? Even though they scored at top, even though I died at top, and I didn't get that Charmander kill before, I just still went right to farming, and I came back level 9. Or was it 10, whichever. I had ult and they didn't. I hid in the bush, they didn't know I was there. Boom, 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 got all of them. So now we get them, we all score. That was a lot of points that we scored. We want to get that little turtle, I still don't know the name, for everyone to get a shield. Now here I realized we're not going to win this fight, so I used my quote-unquote flash, the little eject button. I knew we weren't going to get that, so right here I also want to stop them from scoring. I did stop 2 of them. 1 of them scored, but that's definitely fine. It's better than all 3 of them scoring. And here we catch, I believe that was Mr. Mime out of position. I die here, but that's fine. They can just pick up where I left off, and they're going to score. So I'm looking top also. Charizard is going crazy top. But this is still pretty decent. Even though I'm dying, I still scored all 40 of those energy points. And I'm having decent pressure on the map, ganking top, ganking bot, making it so they can't score, or trying to stop them from scoring as much as possible. And just go back to farming, get the objectives, go back to farming. You don't always want to fight. That's a big mistake I see a lot of people doing in this game. They just always want to fight, and what ends up happening is they fight the enemy when they're in their gold zone and they're healing and getting a shield while you're fighting them. So essentially they're healing, so the damage you're doing is basically nothing. So then when you start getting low, then they come after you and you die. That happens a lot. You don't want to see that mistake happen. If a gank fails, just help them take whatever camp is nearby and go back to farming. Or if the gank fails and you're low, it's okay to run away. Get a shield, get some health, maybe try and stop them from scoring. But that's it. Here I see some people trying to push up. Again, hit those sweet spots, hit that ult. This is perfect as what you want to do with Absol. Just that pressure you have and that damage. And not even Slowbro could get away. He really tried everything he could. But Mr. Mime came behind and I just ran away again. If you need to run, that's okay. If you have to leave a teammate to die by themselves, I'm sorry, that's too bad. But you always want to get out. You don't want to kill them. You want to keep that pressure. So I got help to come back. They're still in the same fight. And although they were winning it, let's say they weren't winning it, I would have been able to come and help. Alright, so you want to do that same rinse and repeat. Farm, look for gank, get objective, whether it's Rotom or the turtle. Go back to farming. Well, you want to score in between all these, obviously, where you can. So, let's say you get a team wipe or the enemy team wipe at the bottom. You kill all of them, score, right? Then you go get the objective, farm. It's a mix of everything. It's always dependent on the situation. But you always want to be ahead in levels. You always want to score where you can and get the objectives that you can. Let's say you can't do any of that. Let's say you're just having a really bad game. You want to prepare for Zapdos. Now, Zapdos appears from like the 2-minute 15 or 2-minute 30-second mark to like 1-minute 30-second mark. I've seen it come really late. I've seen it come really early. I don't know what makes it come faster or slower. But here I try to get it as fast as possible by hitting positionals, meaning attacking from the back. And that was actually a bad idea. So I'm pretty much an assassin, and I stood right in the middle where everybody can use the abilities. So this game was actually going really smooth, and we were in the lead. But because I don't want to put all the blame on myself, but to be honest, if I was sneaking around in the back instead of trying to get help Zapdos, I could have had a 5-man ult and just started assassinating and obliterating everybody from the back. So unfortunately, we lose this game just because they got the Zapdos. So I remember saying that before, and you're seeing it right here. Even if you're losing the entire time, you get a Zapdos and win, boom, the game is over. So the Zapdos really can switch momentum heavily. So when you get a Zapdos and you go to score while the goal is vulnerable, so this is how it works. You get Zapdos. So let's say we got Zapdos, right? That means the enemy team's goal points are vulnerable, meaning you will put double the points in. So I had 50 of the energy on me, and when you go to score it, it's actually 100. So that's why Zapdos is so powerful. Let's say 4 people all score, that's 400. That's not 50, that's 400. Again, you have 50 of the energy, but Zapdos doubles it. That's why Zapdos can be so crucial. Look, they had a minute left. They were losing the entire game. This game is 10 minutes long each match. The last minute of the match, they got Zapdos and they scored, and just for that, they won the game. Now that does suck, you know. I was like, wow, I was a little bit tilted. Look, everyone wanted to surrender. We were like, yeah, bro, it's over. I don't know why I put no. Did I put no? I don't know why. I guess I put no because it was 10 seconds left to the game. Why surrender? But yeah, unfortunately, that's how it ended. But we played it really well in the beginning, and that's how you guys should jungle with Absol. Absol is great. Is one of the best junglers there is. Do I think Absol is better than Zorora? Yes. Why? Zorora can just, you know, jump in there, button mash, and get all this damage. But if you play Absol very strategically and you hit all the sweet spots and assassinate people in the back and use your ult, you can actually be more deadly than a Zorora. Now, the reason why Zorora seems so OP right now in this, I don't want to say meta, but the game just came out. Why Zorora seems so OP right now is because people don't have actual team comps or the proper team comps, so there usually isn't a tank, and if there is a tank, the tank isn't kind of doing their job. So we have a Snorlax. I believe we had a Snorlax in this game. I forgot who the tank was, but Snorlax can just jump on the Zorora. Slowbro can stun the Zorora with ult, or just use that sidekick move that puts Zorora in the air while everyone bursts Zorora down, because Zorora is squishy, meaning they have low health. So Zorora is a squishy. That is how you shut that down. But because we're in the early stages of the game, people don't know that yet. They're still learning how to play a MOBA. A lot of these people don't even know didn't know what a MOBA was before this, and they want to get into it. So yeah, I think Absol can technically be the best jungler. The jungle clear is also powerful if you hit those positionals, meaning you hit the attack from behind when you use pursuit. Your jungle clear is insanely fast, so that leaves you really ahead in terms of levels, so you can go gank and get those objectives. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like, leave a comment, tell me what you thought. If I spoke too fast, because sometimes I do that, let me know if you want me to slow down. If you liked anything or have any comments or concerns, just put it in the chat. Subscribe if you want to see more content. I really do like this game. I'll probably be posting more videos on it, but Absol right now is by far my favorite. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. Enjoy.